Well, here we are in Sussex with a very, well, almost familiar face, minus the wig.
Hair dye.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
This is Ollie Phelps, otherwise known as one of the Weasley twins, George Weasley,
yeah.
the one who survives.
Yeah, I lived, but my ear grew back, which is really fortunate.
Well, that's magic for you.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're a bit of a golfer, obviously.
Yeah, although you may not be able to tell today I am, but yeah, we've had a really good day, so.
No, you're really into your golf. Word has it.
I take it seriously, yeah, really seriously.
On the Potter front, who are the golfers?
There's a couple, Rupert Grint and Tom Film are probably the main two.
Right, now Rupert Grint obviously is your brother, your ginger brother.
Yep, and Tom played Malfoy.
Right.
In the films. And yeah, the four of us, so Tom, Root, James, and myself, we actually played a couple of rounds when we were there.
Really? Okay. Now your brother's here as well.
Yeah.
And I would imagine you don't care what happens today as long as you do better than him.
Yeah, pretty much.
He did better than him in the Battle of Hogwarts.
Yeah, at least so. I've won one of the main things anyway. But yeah, it's not going too great really at the moment. Although I think our team's probably about 8th on the leaderboard. I think looking at it, it keeps jumping here and there. But yeah, as long as I beat James either in the team event or individually, I don't really care.
It's kind of weird because I mean here we are now with you, and what are you, 27?
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean we've all sort of watched you grow up as a fictional character. We've watched you grow up from what, 14 years old?
Yeah, 14 was.
What an amazing 10 years or so you've had.
It was I suppose unconventional to a lot of average 14-year-olds, I suppose. But yeah, it became normality to us, and I had a great time doing it.
A nice thing, cool thing, weird thing, doing so much with your brother?
Again, it became normality. It became normal to go to school with him, and then obviously go to work with him, as it were. But yeah, we do like our time apart, as I'm sure everyone can imagine.
Now, what is a guy who's so well known for a particular character for so long? What does he do when it's over? Is he desperate to sort of shed that image, or is he really cool to keep it going?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. A little bit to shed it. I think having different colour hair really helps for one thing, and also being a lot taller than how people imagine me to be also helps. But yeah, in another sense, it's quite nice to embrace it. Being a good guy is always handy, especially if you're in a bar and someone sees you, like, hey, yeah, I like you, you're a nice guy.
Is that like,
yeah,
you get that, I like you, George?
Yeah, that's pretty,
right.
Yeah, glad to see you're still alive, which is it's quite weird, but it's very nice that people appreciate it.
You must have had an absolute gas.
Yeah, it really did.
In the company of some fantastically brilliant English actors.
There was a lot. I mean, you could probably shake a stick at a list of people like the who's who of British acting, and they'd have been associated with Potter in one way or another, and just for getting advice from people and just general banter with them was fantastic. How
did you get the role in the first place? I suppose it helped that J.K. Rowling obviously needed some brothers.
Yeah.
The Weasleys were identical as well, were they? Two of them, Fred and George were.
Yeah, Fred and George were identical, and we knew that they were roughly the same age group as what we were at the time. So we went to the audition, an open audition where they were auditioning for every part in the film, and there was quite a few sets of twins there. And when we got there, James and I realised that we were the only people who weren't wearing the same outfits. So quickly bolt over to BHS, get the same shirt, and then we soon realised that we didn't have like a portfolio of photos, so we had to get a Polaroid then. To say we were unprepared is an understatement. But then they must have liked that whole off the cuff that we were like, and went from there.
I guess the thing is now, you can go for any sort of acting role of a man in his sort of mid-20s to mid-30s as an individual. But also, there's any more identical twin roles going. You missed out on Social Network. Yeah, well, we actually met with the guys for Social Network, but we were filming the final Potter film, so we weren't able to be released, which was a bit of a shame. But in hindsight, I don't know. I think those Potter films did reasonably well in the end.
They did all right. I think we did all right to stay with it as well. But another way, it's good because the guys who played, there's only one guy who played the twins in.
He played both of them, didn't he?
Yeah.
You can't have that. That's going to put identical twins out of business, isn't it?
It's very expensive if you're going to do that. You might as well just get two for the same price.
So any decent film. Let's not lower yourself. Any decent film needing identical twin blokes, you've got a great chance, haven't you?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so that we could step in and fill that gap what's needed.
What happens after Potter then? I mean, there is life after Potter, obviously, and I guess it's very important to you. I mean, it was a wonderful, wonderful experience, but that's not the end of your career, is it?
No, not at all. I mean, we've been fortunate enough to not only film these great films, travel the world promoting them, and also meeting new people. But as you say, it's not the end of my career, thankfully. So there's other stuff on the horizon, and meeting with people, and it goes back to that thing we talked about earlier about perception being different when they meet us or meet me in the flesh. So that's it's always nice to people say, "Wow, you grew up quite well," which is good, I suppose.
Fantastic. How's the day going today so far?
It's going okay. The team, we've had a bit of a lull for the last about 2 holes, but I think we're going to come back stronger now. We're all motivated and really want some good prizes on offer.
And the reason you're here today is?
I know Mike Tindall quite well, and he asked James and I to come and play in his golf day.
Now, nobody else is here, so just between us, okay, who's the best golfer on the Potter set? Grint, he may say...
I don't know, he may say he was, but actually on the 7th DVD we actually had a golf competition.
Did you?
And I won it.
Did you?
Won individual score, so on that basis I would say myself.
I think you just answered the question. Congratulations. Listen, and well done for obviously helping to bring so much happiness to so many kids.
Cool, no, thanks very much.
And we're all kids really, eh?
Yeah, I think everyone is.
Fantastic, cheers.